Hi there, you're watching The Appreciationist. Welcome, my name is Peter Hartman, and on tonight's show we're talking about the audacity of hope. The audacity of hope. Pulled that from the 2004 DNC speech, I think it was, from Barack Obama. I thought it was an amazing line, so I can't wait to talk about that here tonight. But before we get into it, I want to say hello to our lovely co-hosts in the room. Hi, Samantha Barley and Valerie Soule.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
Oh, great! Oh my goodness, I forgot to add this to my moment of appreciation. Nobody's going to be interested except me, but here we go. Okay, excellent. Look, what I learned this week. This is a segment at the top of the show. Very quickly, I want to let you guys know what I learned this week. I learn things every week. Some things are useful, some things not so much. This week, I learned that it actually inspired the topic for the show that people need more hope. I sort of get locked into the information. I like to give people information because that's what sort of inspires me. But I find that there's a barrier to receiving the information and implementing it when you have this sort of barrier to hope. And so I realized that I need to start working on the hope factor for people, the hope aspect of what we're doing here. So I learned that people need hope. It was a little bit surprising, but that's what I learned. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's true? People need hope?
I didn't think that. I thought everybody kind of had some level of hope always. Oh wow.
Well, people do have a level of hope, a degree of hope. If you're alive, then you have some measure of hope. But what I found was that I would talk to people, and they would always find yes, but these ways around what you're saying. And I started realizing, it's more like I had this conversation with Stan this weekend. They want to believe this hopeless thing because they want to believe in their disempowerment because that way they don't have to hope. It's easier to not have to hope than to. It's painful to hope when you are doubtful, right? And so people are finding all kinds of excuses to squash that out. And I knew that about some people, but now I'm recognizing that it's really a larger part of the population.
I know it very well. So I worked with drug addicts. Now I'm doing life coaching. That's a lot of what I do. Like, not all the clients that come to me are like, yes, okay, they're coming because they have some hope, but I need to inflame that hope. Like, that's what I do, is I help them get even more excited and believe things are possible even more. And so I'm surprised I'm surprised you're actually saying that you didn't realize. I'm so aware that a lot of people do not have much hope. For the fact that they're able to change or that they can have what they desire, like they hope, but they don't really believe, or like the hope doesn't turn to belief very easily.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I always recognized that hope was that people felt hopeless, but I never realized how willing people were to be hopeless. Like, they don't want to hope, and that's the part that kind of stuck into my head. That people don't actually want to hope, because hope, I started thinking about it in the context. Actually, I'll just slip into my moment of appreciation and tell you this here. So during the show, we do a segment called A Moment of Appreciation, and that's where we look back at the past week. We pick out something that we appreciate. It could be something good that happened that's easy to appreciate, or it could be something that wasn't so great, but it's easier to appreciate now. I was paying attention to the American elections. Bernie Sanders is a Democratic candidate running for the nomination for presidency. And there are a lot of people, they say that the nomination is between Hillary Clinton, your head, and Bernie Sanders, your heart. And a lot of people went with their head because they felt like, yeah, Bernie's bringing us hope, but we don't really believe in hope in that way anymore. I could sense there was this reticence to believe in Bernie Sanders. Now, he did wonderfully well, but it really amplified this idea that people are doubtful of hope, that they don't actually want hope, that they'd rather something that feels more pragmatic or realistic, even if that thing is sort of uninspiring. So I don't know. It was an interesting thing. My moment of appreciation was the elections. Bernie Sanders ties Hillary Clinton. He came up from from 30 points behind, and he was tied for Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, who has full name recognition. So I was really, really happy to see that. And also Donald Trump came in second, which is pretty much a loss for him. So anybody there who's out to gunning for Donald Trump, you had a good time this past weekend. We also did mingle, and that was really a lot of fun. I didn't mingle as much, but I really had a lot of fun talking to the people that I talked to. And also I went to the Blue Dog comedy show, hosted by, put on by Emma Wilkins. I hope that's her right name.
Emma Wilkie.
Emma Wilkie. Thank you so much for that, Sam. The Blue Dog Show, it was packed. They said it had never been so full. I got to see some of my favorite comedians like Daniel Karen and Chris Sandiford, and they completely killed it. It was hilarious. So that was a lot of fun. I got to spend some time with my brother, so that was a lot of fun. What about you guys? Any moments of appreciation?
Yeah. So wait, I just had a blank.
Okay, none for Sam.
No. You named like 3 of them just now. That's hilarious. Okay, so mine. Yesterday I finally got to see Star Wars 3D IMAX. Yeah, that was fun with Peter. We had all-you-can-eat sushi beforehand, so that was wonderful as well.
Oh yeah, that's my moment too.
Yeah, you have like 20. You're the appreciationist, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right.
And my second one is today. I had a busy day, but a very productive day. I saw like a few different clients. I had an interview for an internship. So it was just, I'm like tired, so I might not be expressing myself very well. But my brain feels like it got a workout, and it feels great.
Well, you've had a busy, not only today, but a busy little while now.
A busy new year, yeah, it's good.
Nice, good job, excellent. How about you, Val? Any moments of appreciation? No? Okay.
I appreciate the fact, I'm really happy for Sam that she's tired, but happy tired, so that's wonderful. You're like relaxed in a good way, and it's really nice.
Thanks.
Yes, I had really good news last week. On Thursday, I had 2 appointments. Well, I had 1 appointment with a customer, which turned out to be 2 appointments because she sent me next door to a school board. And what was kind of funny is I've been working with a school board since September, trying to come up with, work with them so that they would buy a lot of ebooks from us. And it's been a lot of work, and I've been following up every 2 or 3 weeks and without getting anywhere. So it was a little frustrating for a while, but then I just let it go. And on Thursday, she wanted to see me, and I just went in there not knowing what she wanted. And she basically told me, she said, I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to do anything. And she really wanted to do a good job, and so she was looking into many, many products, which I can understand is overwhelming. But she really didn't have the time, so she had a bit blank. She said, I can't even remember any of the things that we talked about, so she said, help me. And within 5-10 minutes, basically, she said, this is what I have to spend, please, choose for me, and that's it. And then I got out of there, and I'm like, wow, okay, so I've worked, of course, the work that I did in the fall was worth it, for sure, and it's part of this success, but I was amazed that within 5-10 minutes, just, because of a relationship and because she trusts me and because we've worked together in the past, then she can just have me choose, for her. And choosing is the best. I know my product, so choosing is just so much fun. So that's it. That's my moment of appreciation.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that. Oh, it's good when it pays off. What is it about choosing that is good?
You just look at, you imagine, first of all, I know my product, so I know the ones that have been popular and that the kids love and everything. So you can just imagine the kids just going, oh yeah, this is a fun book, this is going to be good. And so you can just, especially that. I go with what the kids are going to love. And of course I have to also go with, the curriculum and what the teachers are going to want as well. But it's just fun to imagine the right book going to the right kid. That's how I see it, and that's kind of my philosophy. I could almost cry because it's so important to me. So it's almost a story of the kid finding the right book or the book finding the right kid. So that's what it is.
Oh, that's amazing. I completely get it. I love that you explained that. It reminds me of Harry Potter. Going to school and having to pick his magic wand. It really has that magical feeling to it. And my whole life changed when I started reading books when I was a kid, and it was because of the Scholastics program that allowed us to choose our books, and then we got those books brought to us, and just having that discovery moment of being introduced to a new book that really piques your interest, and it really can set a whole new transition for your life. Really, really cool. I love that. Excellent. Great moments of appreciation. Sam's yawning. She's getting tired, so let's move on. Hard worker. Everybody here is a hard worker.
I can handle 15-20 minutes. Don't worry.
Another 15 minutes. Don't worry. We'll keep
as long as you can handle my yawning, then.
So let me just keep an eye on. Okay, well, people are purchasing tickets for Radical. That's excellent. Just keeping an eye on the messages here. Okay, nothing. Look, so we've done what I learned this week. We've done a moment of appreciation. This next segment is called What a Great Idea. That's where I point you towards an idea, a product, or service that is deserving of your attention, because whatever we give our attention to becomes a greater part of our experience. So why not give our attention to great ideas? You know, I've been trying to say that in practice some of that in French, and I can't get to whatever you give. Whatever you give. How do you say that?
You have to change the whole sentence. That's usually what I do. I change the whole sentence. You cannot go with whatever. No.
Yeah. No, I get that.
You know.
I said something like ce qui reçoit ton attention.
Yeah, it's not bad, but I usually say plus on donne notre attention à quelque chose, ou plus on se concentre sur quelque chose, plus ça prend de la place dans notre expérience de vie.
Oh, excellent, perfect. I got a free translation there, so I'm really happy. Really cool. Look, so what a great idea this week. It's actually a pretty cool website. Look, you guys do videos. Anybody out there who does videos, maybe you haven't reached to the point where you're putting music in your videos, but it really does make a huge impact depending on what you're doing. Now, music takes hours and hours of work sometimes to find the right video, the right audio, and then put it on your video, and then edit that audio. And so it takes a lot of time and expertise. But this website, it's a new website, so they're still working some things out. And of course, a year from now, it'll be way better than it is today. But it's a website called jukedeck.com. Juke, J-U-K-E, deck, D-E-C-K.com, all one word. And what this does, you guys ready for the future? What this does is that it automatically, you know what, I got to tell you guys this. When I need to find music for my videos, I have to go online, and if I have to purchase a video, I have to browse tons of libraries of videos to find exactly what I want, and to put on my video. It costs money, it takes a lot of time. This website, and also other people have the same song, especially if it's popular, so you don't have originality. This website uses computer machine learning to automatically, on the fly, generate original music.
Wow.
It's all original music. Every time you refresh the page, it's a completely new song. Nobody else has ever had it. You get 5 free tracks a month, and then any additional track is $7. Now, the songs right now are good. They're ordinary, but they're definitely going to work in your video. Google has already used it 1,000 times for their videos. So it's pretty basic. It's great background track. If you're out there wanting to create games, look, I'll read you exactly the about. It says Juke Deck allows you to create your own unique tracks to use in your videos, games, or anything else that you're making. So people are using it to perform. People are using this for all kinds of reasons. It's music for any use. And it's so great to have original music. You can get the music for exactly the time that you need, and then future things will give you even more. So right now there's folk, electronic, and ambient, but there's going to be more styles coming out. So look, keep this on your bookmarks. If you're going to be making videos, you want to use audio to do anything at all, check out jukedeck.com. It's really, really incredible. This is a problem. I'm talking about it a lot because this is a problem I have on a regular basis, and I really, really want I'm really excited about it. I'm really, really happy about it. I've been dreaming for something like this. A computer making music. Oh, anyway.
It's not working for me, so I sent you the link. That's what it is, jukedeck.com.
Yeah, jukedeck.com. I'm on it right now.
Okay, maybe it's my computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so check that out. Cool, you guys. Today's topic of the show is the audacity of hope. When I first heard Obama say this in his speech, I was incredibly moved. What an incredible line. And it really hit home for me. I was just talking to Ella, my step-niece, I guess she is, and she's playing chess with Tom. And I see that Tom makes a move, and I can see that he's about to do something really good. And so we're like laughing about it, and all of a sudden she gets upset. She's like, "Oh, well, it's hopeless. You know, I'm doomed. There's no way I can win." And at first I told her, first of all, when it comes to chess, there's almost always a way to win. Okay, there are billions of combinations. It's very unlikely that you'll be very stuck. There's ways to move forward. But I told her, look, if you're hopeless, do you think it'll be more likely or less likely that you will win? She says, less likely. I go, if you are hopeful, do you think it's more likely or less likely that you will win? She goes, it's more likely. I go, even if you hope and you lose, I find it's far better to be hopeful and lose than to be hopeless and lose, because you increase your likelihoods in each way. You know, essentially what I was telling her is that there's never a moment in life that is undeserving of hope. Okay, there's never a moment in life where it is not common sense and a rational thing to do to hope, to be optimistic. And actually, the only time where hope is really a problem is if you're trying to commit suicide, okay? Because then, you know, that really gets in the way of killing yourself if you have hope. Just a joke there. Feel free to laugh if you want. I'm just...
No, actually, honestly, I was thinking about that because I read a book years ago, and that's why I always thought, that's why I said what I said at the beginning of the show. That's really why I thought that it's almost like an instinct that we all have it, some measure of it, because I believe that even somebody who wants to commit suicide, I think until the last minute, you have to fight that hope that is still there. Anyway, I read a book that made me realize this. It's a play, actually, a French play from Quebec. And I was like, really? I had no idea, but it makes sense. I think we want to live, so it makes sense that even until the last minute, even if you want to commit suicide, there's kind of a measure of hope inside of us. I don't know. I took it as being there for anybody.
I agree. I actually found that an incredibly beautiful idea, and it really inspired me and motivated me to continue with what I'm doing, because just to know, to be aware that if you're alive, it means you have some measure of hope. But what I'm talking about is the difference between a seed, an acorn, and a tree. You know, some of us have hope, and it's small. It's an ember that's just barely warm, keeping you warm, and other people have a fiery blaze. Other people have a tree bearing fruit, and so Ella, she did have hope. She was playing the game. You know, she didn't. If you don't have hope, you smash the game. I've seen people do that, just like, I'm out of here. Screw this. I'm getting out of here. But I wanted to inflame her hope, like Sam says, in order for her to have enough hope to take more steps forward, you know, to not hold herself down. So I completely agree with you, Val. Everybody who's alive has hope, and until you, in the moment that you commit suicide, that's when you lose that hope. But we can. It's about degrees, right? We can increase that. So
yeah, and maybe.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if I may. Maybe there's a. Because you guys made me think about it when you were saying that maybe not everybody wants to hope or wants to be in that space, you know. So I don't know. Maybe maybe it's not. It's more a wish than hope. Like I don't know. Maybe in hope you're more involved, or it's more optimistic. A wish is maybe you're not so involved. You're just hoping somebody's gonna, or wishing that somebody's gonna rescue you. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
maybe there's a difference there.
I agree. What we would talk about is the spectrum of hope, and of course you can divide the spectrum of hope into many categories, right? You can talk about faith, you can talk about wishing, you can talk about hope. So you know, when you're talking about the emotional spectrum, you can divide that spectrum, you know, an infinite number of times. There are many words to describe our emotional states, and I think there are many degrees of hope that we can use different words for. So I think that's a great place for us to start, like reminding people, hey, look, if you're talking to us, by the way, if you're talking to Sam, if you're talking to Val, if you're talking to me, I know you have hope. I mean,
yeah.
You probably have more hope than the average person, or more hope than the person who's in complete despair. You're reaching out and you're doing something about it. And what I want is for people to, it's not the hope that I want people to have. I want them to have the audacity, the willingness to hope, because when you're hopeful, that's fine, but when you're angry or in despair or frustrated, then you're no longer in that hopeful state. And I want you to find that hopeful state even when you're in those depths of the cold or in the dark. I want you to have the daring to hope even though you feel hopeless. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That sort of audacious spirit. So anyway, I've seen, look, all three of us, we've been in this position where you lose hope. Right? We've all been in a position where for a moment, even if it's for a minute, you sort of lose hope. You're like, oh, I'm not going to succeed, nothing's going to work out, everything's going to fall apart. But then we come out of it because even though you're in that state of hopelessness, you still have a strong desire to want to hope. You know, it's like wanting to want. It's like, it's not desire, but it's a desire to have a desire, you know what I mean? And I want to remind people that true hope starts with a willingness to hope, a wanting to do it. And I wanted to use the show as an opportunity to remind people to do that. Like I'm doubtful if people will come to our event this February 14th. You know, I don't have a huge amount of hope for that, but I do have the audacity to hope because I put it up. You know what I mean? Like part of me wanted to just cancel it altogether, but I was like, you know what? Let's just do it anyway. You guys ever have to deal with situations where you feel hopeless but you choose to hope anyway?
I never, honestly, I don't think I've ever felt hopeless. I mean, except like where I can be super down and you know, everything looks like everything's going wrong, but I remember last time I felt that way, and in the middle of that, even crying and everything, I was like, I know it's a transition. I know it's temporary. I know I'm gonna get on the other side. I just know it. So it's, you know, there's a big difference when you know that. It's like I can't call it hopeless. It's just you know.
The fact that you say that makes complete sense. I mean, it goes to show why you're so good at understanding these things, and why you're you know, it's one of the reasons why you're on our team, because you do have that sort of spirit, you know. You know, I can't honestly say that I've ever felt completely hopeless, but I have felt hopeless relative to specific subjects.
Yeah.
Relative to specific subjects, I felt like, okay, that's completely hopeless. What about you, Sam? Have you ever had to deal with that hopelessness?
Well, I'm trying to define it well, because I see hope as, it's almost like want. Like if you want something and you're able to identify that you want it and not like dismiss it completely, then there's hope there. Like if you can define that I want this thing, or I want this, you know, experience, or I want this, and you don't completely say, well, forget it, I'm never ever going to have it. There's still like this twinkle, there's still this, it still comes to your mind, you still, like, then there's hope, right? Like, I'm just trying to define hope. I'm just trying in my mind to define, how would you define hope?
Well, I can define hope, but before I do understand what you're saying, and
yeah.
Honestly, just like Val, I think you were definitely right. That in desire, to have a desire,
yeah.
some measure of hope, right? That's life. And when Val talks about, like, everybody has this sort of hope thing, I think she's talking about the human spirit, this essence to who we are, this desire to be, and to be in different states. Hope, more specifically in the way I'm talking about, hope is a positive expectation, okay? So worry is the opposite of hope. Worry is a negative expectation. You are focused on something and expecting an undesirable outcome. Hope is a positive expectation. It's that you're focused on something and you're expecting to have it. And the reason I think it's a little different is because there's a difference to me between desire and expectation. Desire is you're wanting something, but you can want something and not believe you can have it. And so that's why I say, you know, desire is slightly different to me than hope, but that I can definitely see how hope is entangled with desire to some degree.
Yeah.
I like it. The conversation is a lot more nuanced than I imagined, and that's really important, because especially when we're talking about hope, we're getting very close to subtlety, right? We're getting close to before hopelessness is sort of boredom, neutrality. Like, it's as close as you get to neutrality. So of course there's subtlety there. Of course we can, and maybe we don't have maybe we don't know, or there doesn't exist the proper wording to express what we're trying to talk about here. But I like that the conclusion it seems that we've reached is that in everything, in some way and somehow, there's always some measure of hope. And so I guess the key is to focus on it, to be willing to focus on it wherever you can find it. And that's really what I want to talk about in terms of the point I wanted to make in terms of the audacity of hope. It's this sort of daring that says, you know, even though it might be hard to find, even though it's very small, that I'm going to choose to focus on it, because that's just a better alternative. It's just a more logical thing to do. And
get a little crazy.
Say again?
It's like get a little crazy. Like when you say the audacity, you know. First of all, I love that expression too. But it's like, yeah, like take a little risk. Like just, you know, go crazy a little bit.
Yeah, because what I'm thinking is there's a lot of people who don't even realize that they're hoping, or that they're, you know, that they are in, like, we're saying, like, not everybody is hopeless, but they're not aware of it. A lot of people are not aware of even what they're living and feeling on a day-to-day basis, you know? So they might not even see that hope is even there. And so when you say audacity of hope, it means, like, be bold, be aware of it, like, choose to be hopeful, choose to have this hope, you know? Like, I first identify that it's even there.
Yeah, put an intention behind it.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of to boost it a bit. But yeah, I believe that I do believe that people have hope anyway, because we're always looking. All of us, we're always trying to find ways to feel better.
Yeah.
you know, no matter what we do, you know. So obviously, if we want to feel better, it's because we know it's there, it's possible.
I think it's good, and I think today is an effective reminder to people, whether you are hopeful or not, just to exercise that ability, and like Sam and Valerie were saying, to choose and to remind ourselves that we do have a disability, and just by exercising that ability, we become better hopers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah, not the best word, but hey, why not?
We'll figure it out. I'm hopeful I can find a better word. You guys, that's a wonderful place for us to end it. I want to thank you guys so much. Before I let you go, just two more things. What's for dinner? I'm having Greek potatoes. So they invented this recipe where they're putting tzatziki and feta and vegetables with potatoes. I don't even know how to describe it. But
I want some now, please.
Yeah, me too. Send some to my house right now.
What about you guys? What did you guys eat in the last 7 days that you enjoyed?
Today, I was at Concordia. And if ever you're near Concordia downtown, go to Hive Cafe. I think it's called. It's in the Concordia building, but anybody can go. And they have like all sorts of really nutritional, yummy, like awesome stuff for very cheap. And so I had a sprout salad, which the sprouts are actually grown at the Concordia greenhouse. So sprout salad with a grilled cheese on like this sprout grain bread. And so it was like, I think it came to $6, and it was like super healthy and super yummy. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna be going there again.
Nice.
I want one now. I want that too.
Yeah, it was so yummy. It was, and I was impressed with the prices and stuff. So yeah. For like good food, it's usually very expensive nowadays, but that was good.
Nice. How about you, Val?
I had, it's not very original because I've talked about it before. I had Thai food this for lunch, and it was full of vegetable and red curry and chicken. Loved it. Just loved it. I hadn't had it in a while, so it was nice. It was a little spicy, so it got really hot, but it was nice.
Good.
That's really excellent. Cool. Look.
Oh wait, I want to add something. Hey, I'm going meatless for the month.
You're going meatless.
Meatless for the month. I'm still eating eggs and fish, so I'm not saying vegetarian, but because I rarely, even now, like I don't eat a lot of meat, and I'm really going sort of the health route and the environmental route, and ever since I watched that documentary Cowspiracy, yeah, and so I don't know. I just wanted to say it. Meatless this month.
All right.
Month. Well, speaking about this month, what's coming up on the calendar this week? For the Law of Attraction, we have a committee discussion this Saturday allowing transformation. What about you, Val? You have something coming up next week, right?
Next week on Thursday the 11th at 6:30, I have a workshop on raising your vibration, the power behind words, which is actually a repeat of the French one I did last week. And it went really well. We had fun, and I think people got quite a bit out of it. So let's see if we can do the same thing in English. Already, quite a few people have signed up.
Yeah, there are only 4 spots left. So this one's in English. Definitely go on RSVP as quickly as possible. We also have Radical coming up. Are you ready to change? Radical is going to be a whole new format. There's not going to be any panel discussions or anything like that. It's just going to be me doing a lecture. So I'm actually going to be reading a document that I'll be creating, as well as answering all your questions. So this is going to be completely new, and if you like asking me a bunch of questions, if you want to get specific answers to your specific questions, I'll definitely come out to that. Sam, what's coming up for you?
So this is Self-Discovery Montreal Meetup Group. Tuesday I'm having Releasing Fears group life coaching. There's still 2 spots. I announced it this morning, so other than that, that's about it for now.
That's about it.
Self-Discovery Montreal Meetup, or go to samanthabarley.com and follow the links.
Excellent. Look, we had a really fun conversation talking about hope. I really loved all the insights that you guys gave. You guys were really awesome. Thank you so much, Samantha, Barley, and Valerie, Soule. You guys are awesome. Just so you guys know, our February 14th event, Beloved, was moved to March 26th. But we got this is a box of hope, by the way. This is a box of hope that I received. And we went out at our. These are all condoms. It's a giant box of hope right there. We're going to be giving them out at Beloved. I know it's strange, but our Beloved is going to be a little risque. We're going to talk about sexuality, and if people get a little rowdy, I want them to be nice and protected,
All right.
I'm being silly. You guys are really awesome. Val, go eat something nice, and Sam, go sleep. You guys are asking. I'm gonna go play with the 1-year-old Baron upstairs. He's a ball of hope. Take care, you guys.
Bye. Have a great week.
Have a good week. See you guys Saturday.
See you Saturday and Sunday.
Thank you very much for watching the show. Tune in next week, same time, for another exciting episode of The Appreciationist. Thank you very much, you guys and gals. Take care. Bernie Sanders! Woo!